Long before the days of American Pie, Porky's, Revenge of the Nerds, and even Fast Times at Ridgemont High, the movie that launched the definitive aspects of the college comedy takes the number 12 spot on my favorite movies of all time. Get your togas and do the Bluto, we're talking about National Lampoon's Animal House. The comedy that launched what the college comedy would become and be absolutely nothing like real college life, as The Simpsons has shown us in Homer Goes to College. But it was one of the first raunchy comedies ever made that was a worldwide success and helped to launch a lot of big names into superstardom. You have Favorite College, who has one frat house so disreputed it will take anyone. It also has a second house full of white Anglo-Saxon rich young men who are so sanctimonious no one can stand them except Dean Warner. The dean enlists the help of the second frat to get the boys of Delta House off campus. The dean's plans come into play just before the homecoming parade to end all parades for all time. As I said, the movie helped to launch a lot of big careers for its stars. You have Tim Matheson, Peter Rieger, Tom Hulce, Stephen Furst, Bruce McGill, Kevin Bacon, Donald Sutherland, Karen Allen, and of course John Belushi, but I'll get to him in just a little bit. The comedy in here is really solid. It's that type of raunchy comedy where it's smartly written and it doesn't have to resort to extremely childish jokes to get its laugh. It gets raunchy, but it doesn't have to resort to consistent poop and fart jokes to get its laugh like some movies I could probably mention, but we wouldn't be here for about a couple of hours to really go into those. Here's an example of some of the good comedy that's in this movie. There's a great joke where Bluto and D-Day try to get one of the new frat brothers, Flounder, played by Stephen Furst, revenge against his commander, Niedermeyer, who also happens to be the leader of the Delta's rival house, Omega. So, how do they do it? They take Niedermeyer's horse, sneak it into Dean Warner's office at night, and tell Flounder to shoot the horse without telling him that the bullets are in the gun are actually blanks. So, Flounder basically shoots the gun in the air, not wanting to shoot the horse, and yet the horse still keels over, leaving not just Flounder and Bluto, but Bluto and D-Day baffled as they all run out, not even bothering to clean up the office, but just leaving it there. It's one of those moments where it's so friggin' hilarious and one of the best comedy jokes ever, in my opinion. And I could show it to you here, but Universal Movies, if you try to put them on your YouTube videos, they automatically get copyrighted, so you can find the clip out there, but it's definitely worth it. But the story itself is pretty good, too. For the time, it's a very clever movie. I mean, we've seen the story done to death numerous times, but this was the first movie that did it. And like with most things, it's the original that usually does it the best. You know, you got so many great memorable characters in here, as well as some great pristine actors like John Vernon and the previously mentioned Donald Sutherland. But the best thing about this movie is John Belushi as Bluto. I mean, my God, I love this character. He's a guy that just does not give a shit and does whatever the hell he wants, and God bless him for it. He's responsible for some of the best moments in the film, including the horse scene, the cafeteria sequence, the ladder scene, drinking the bottle of booze and throwing the bottle at the car, and the speech that he gives to motivate the rest of the Delta House. I mean, it's a speech that starts out making no sense whatsoever, but as it keeps going, you get what he's trying to say, and he starts to get everybody's spirits back up. And I swear, it's one of the best speeches you'll ever hear in any movie whatsoever. Now tell me that, when you hear it, tell me that's not a great speech. But you can see why this he went on to become a senator in the end, as the film's post-credit sequence tell you. But that's not really all that. There's really not much more about this movie that I can say that hasn't already been said already. It's just such a great movie that has some of the funniest moments I've ever seen in a comedy. A brilliant cast, sharp comedy, a really good story. It's just so much fun to follow along with. I know absolutely nobody that hates Animal House, and there's a good reason why. It's so much fun to watch no matter who you are. It's number 12 on my list of my favorite movies of all time. So that's this week's entry into my favorite films of all time. Check out what I had to say about The Big Lebowski last week, and I'll see you next week for number 11. So thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.